What do we push you to do? Burn the house down? Throw a brick in the car? Light your clothes on fire? Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Neverbeless. Today I have with me Yana. Absolutely, she is a digital content creator. She's a comedian and upcoming author. She has books that she's working on, and she also has that entrepreneurial spirit. When I say entrepreneurial, I mean it. This is like a bag of chips, and all the chips in the bag are entirely different. They taste different. They look different. It does complete the whole chips in a different way. Today, Yana and I, we're going to be talking about relationship from a male and female perspective, more like on a broader, deeper understanding. Is there something you want to say?
Go check out my channel. Hi, everybody. Go check out my YouTube channel, Yana TV. I make a lot of different videos for everybody, so there's something for everybody. Go check it out.
Yes, absolutely. So that's Yana TV. I'm going to leave that in the description below. Definitely give her your love and your support. So, Yana, so tell me, when it comes to communication between a man and a woman, right? Well, before I dive into that, so I was having a conversation with Yana. She said something. She said that men are supposed to be blamed for how women feel. And I know a lot of guys hearing this were like, here we go again. Another woman saying that it's our fault for how they feel, how they think, and how they act. But the truth is, everybody's born with their own emotions, but as men, we get blamed for everything. So why is that? Why do men get blamed for everything?
I wouldn't say you guys get blamed for everything.
By the way, there's a part of go show that I just want to tell you the gorgeous.
All right, thank you. Even though I fuck I look.
Well, I mean, if you're rocking this look so simple, imagine when you're rocking the look where you're like, I'm gonna go dog.
You know, when I really put some effort in.
I'm telling you, man.
Thank you.
What's her name? Cardi B and Nicki Minaj would have nothing on you. Absolutely.
So, don't let them hear you say that.
I know, hey.
They're gonna come for their spot, and I'm not.
All right. So so you were saying.
So you guys are not responsible for everything or a female's entire emotions. But when it comes to a relationship or talking to somebody and you get to a certain point, you have to look at it as what you do does affect the other person's emotions and how they're going to feel. So this could be a female doing it to a man, and she did something and wasn't thinking about how it would affect him and his emotions, and now it is what it is, or vice versa. The male did it to the female. So it's just...
But I don't get it. I mean, so we're all born with emotions, right? I want to put that out there. Everybody's born with emotions. And men and women are wired differently, right? So men is wired to think logically, right? And logical in the way that we have, or our mind is like, it's like a building blocks. Everything just got to make sense to us. It got to be structural. Whereas a female, they're wired emotionally, right? Where everything just got to feel right and just got to feel this way. So I really do believe, and I know you're going to disagree with this. A lot of females probably do disagree with it, but I know a lot of men are going to agree. And I'm not being biased here, but it is the truth. Men, we think logically, whereas female, you guys think emotionally. And as men, we try to control things from a logical aspect, whereas females try to control things from an emotional aspect. So with that said, why are we always blamed for how a woman feel? Why is it always our fault when you guys go crazy? And never our reason when you guys are loved?
Because, of course, in that moment, we acknowledge the fact that when we do feel love, you guys are giving it to us, and we acknowledge that. But of course, it's like you don't have to acknowledge when you feel loved, because you're gonna see it. She's gonna be smiling. She's gonna be happy. You're gonna know. But it's when you guys start to do other things that invoke the anger and the annoyance. That's those little emotions, those little feelings that it's like you don't care about how I feel, you don't care about how I think, and it's because some men have the tendency to act nonchalant about things, like they don't really. So as a female, we're looking at it because, like you said, we are emotional, so we're coming to you emotional about the situation, showing our emotions. So when you're not showing that emotion back, it's like you don't even care. You don't even care about how I feel. That's when the "you don't care how I feel" comes into play, because it's like you're not even showing that me feeling this way is bothering me.
Okay, I get that. I get that. So you feel like oftentimes we tend to neglect how you guys are feeling.
Sometimes,
We're not doing it intentional, right? I want to put it
like you said, you gotta think logically. So I feel like for men, if it's not a logical reason why we're mad or emotional, to you guys, it's just, I don't want to say not that big of a deal, but it's kind of like,
yeah, like what's the point?
Yeah, what's the point?
If it's not a logical reason why you're mad, like why do we need to say, okay, like sweetie, baby, or whatever nickname we give, whoever we're with, and be like, why do we need to get to that level to get all mushy when there's not a logical reason for you to be mad? Like, help me understand why we have to put, and other men out there, why we have to put so much effort or a logical way of thinking when it comes to females being mad. We're trying to figure that out. Because I really want to know, and I'm sure a lot of people that's watching really want to know, why are we to blame for our female behave?
Because when a female loves and she chooses to love a man, it's a different type of love that embodies her. So when anything happens or just anything, all those emotions is coming up. Now, she's doing all this because she cares, and she cares for you. When she stops doing that, that's the problem, because she no longer cares. Man, you don't care how I feel anymore. That's not being said, all of that. The female has given up. She does not care anymore, because it's like, you showed me you didn't care, so I'm just going to stop voicing it. I'm going to stop trying, because clearly you don't care. So we tend to blame men for our emotions, because, to be honest, as a female, not too many things really make you mad, but then a man will do something and it just really take you there. Like, some men really have a tendency to just push women. I don't know why.
Like what?
But
like, I want to hear this. Like, push y'all to do what? What do we push you to do? Burn the house down? Throw a brick in the car? Light your clothes on fire? Huh?
Yes, because like you guys say, you think logically, women are looking at men the same way, like you don't have common sense. Why would you do that?
This is crazy. So we think logical, and this happens a lot. This really do happens a lot. Where when a female starts to argue with a guy, they tend to use certain words to argue, whereas like you don't have common sense, and that shows us off. We're like, we're logical. They're gonna say that we don't have common sense. It's like you're insulting our intelligence. But then when we turn around and we start to use those feeling words like calm down, you guys flare up. There's a little thing, calm down.
Yeah, because don't tell me to calm down. Who are you to tell me to calm down? And especially if you're the reason why I'm mad, do not tell me to calm down. That is the issue sometimes too. Like, imagine someone that just made you mad tells you to calm down and you're still mad at them. Isn't that going to make you more angry? Because it's like, you just pissed me off and now you want me to calm down. But you did something to me?
We're not, I don't think a lot of us, intentionally try to piss you guys off. I think we just, because we're logical and it just has to make sense. The majority of us. We just want you guys, our companion, our supporting system, right, to help us remain logical, and we will help you remain calm. So, which is why we'll say calm down, right? And inadvertently, you guys were saying to us, have common sense, have sense, be mature. And those things, those words are sort of like an insult to our, to our logical behavior. So we take it that way. But some of us, we brush it off and like he does something in feelings. Okay? Now, when I say up in your feelings, we're not being intentional. We're just trying to say calm down because we love you when you're at your best when you're calm. But when you're feisty, unnecessary attitude, we're like, that's a disruption to our logical behavior. That's toxic. And we don't want to deal with that. Because a man cannot operate fully when he has a lot of situations showing him off his game mentally. Right? He doesn't want to deal with it. But when a man have a woman that is just calm, she knows how to talk to him, which is entirely different from venting, right? Because venting to us comes with emotions, and we're like, can't deal with this, man. We just need a break. But if you know how to talk to us by using certain words, simple words, words such as see, can you think about this? I want to hear your point of view. I would like your opinion on this. What do you think? Just using those words that you could have a man thinking, that man becomes more like, I got you, sweetie. But when you use words like, why, you don't care, oh, I feel, you should feel this way, we shut that down because we don't look at that as something that's going to build us up. But yet it happens a lot. Now there's some females out there that when they're with their man, they use words such as, I got you, sweetie, I understand, I will go. And those women are then looked down on because a lot of women see them as you're being too feminist. I mean, not feminist, you're being too feminine. You're being too submissive. Which is the next thing that we're going to talk about, submissive. Because I think female just makes up the word submissive of what it means to a man, what it means to a woman. But we're going to talk about that some other time.
Because there's definitely a line when it comes to a relationship of men already thinking that they have to control the situation because they're the man, so they feel they're in charge. Their lead. So for some women that are more strong-headed and more that alpha female as well, they're gonna clash heads, and that's where that submissive line, and there's a line. So like you said, we'll talk about that when we get there, but it's a lot into that too. So, and I speak from experience, so I understand. Excuse me, I understand when a female says, "You're not taking my emotions into account," because, like you said, a female's role majority of the time in a relationship is to be supportive and be that backbone for her man. Down, like you said, I got you, we'll build, we're here. Now, vice versa, tables have turned, oh, I comfort, like it's not the same comfort, if that makes sense. So then it's seeming like you don't really care about my emotions, but when you're not at your best, I'm making sure you're down, holding you down, make sure you're good, and your emotions are straight, but now it's me, and it's like
That's an interesting way to look at it. No, it is. So what you said is that we men want you female to be supportive and hold us down, but we're not taking the time to look at when you're doing your thing. Like so how do we support that, right? And I'm not saying that like a lot of us, we absolutely know that, when our female is grinding doing her thing, we'll be like, yeah, baby, what you doing? You're doing great, rock on. Right? I'd be like, I love the way you're doing this, or I like the way you make it look. Right? We could use those feeling words to boost your emotional ego. We can do that. But
that's mostly what a female will be looking for.
But I think a lot of men just don't want those words on. So maybe we should share some of those words, like what we men should use to make you females feel more supported the same way how we expect you to support us, right? In our logical journey, our practical journey of life. We want to know words that will allow us to support you females in your emotional journey of life. Because you're thinking with your emotions, and you guys are trying to control everything that is emotional and that has feelings.
And then already as females, we're known, like you said, to be emotional and to be very erratic and chaotic when it comes to our emotions. There's a lot of people that believe, oh, females' emotions will switch like that, and for certain females,
like
it can.
a light switch.
Yeah, like
flip on, flip off.
Certain females, it is like that, and then some females, it's not. So it's also just you have to know who you're dealing with, too. And vice versa for men. That's why certain women, you can't say all men are like this or all men do this, because you have to learn the person you're dealing with. They might not do this, but they do that. So it's just the difference. And like I said, how we're talking about the emotions. I have said that to a man before, like, oh, you don't care about what you're doing is making me feel.
Because it's all fault.
And I did blame him a little bit because during that time, it was a bit of an emotional disconnect.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, you don't care about my feelings and that third. And at the time, he did have a lot going on in his plate and in his life that he was trying to deal with and for himself, grind and do his thing. So when I stepped back and looked at it, I said, okay, not even as a female, but for this to be someone I cared about, that was a bit selfish of me to say that, because you're dealing with a lot on your plate right now, and I'm sitting over here asking you why you don't care about my emotions, and you distancing yourself to do what you have to do is hurting me, and which is not a bad thing to express, because of course you want to express that to your significant other so they know that boundary and they know for future references. When you're going through something, okay, let me communicate a little bit more so she doesn't start to feel unwanted. Because that's when the unwanted feelings come in, and that's when females start to second guess things in their mind, and their relationships will slowly start to fall apart when that emotional disconnect is there because a lack of communication. So sometimes when men are going through things, all a female really is asking for is just that honesty of, hey babe, hey sweetheart, I got on my plate right now, I'm going through this, that, and third, I just gotta do what I gotta do, and we'll be alright, it's gonna be okay. And if you want to go ahead and give him that support here and there throughout, there's nothing wrong with that, because we're human. We need sometimes that support and motivation from other people. We are human. We bounce off ideas from each other. That's just what we do. So at the end of the day, we still need each other for that emotional aspect too. But females just have to look at it a little less selfishly sometimes. Because then when I was going through my own personal things where I needed to grind and do what I had to do, I didn't really want to be dealt with any men or really want that emotional thing either. So that's what made me realize in that situation, I could have handled that differently instead of saying you didn't care about my emotions, because now I'm in that predicament. It's like I'm not really focused too much on somebody else's emotions, or because I'm just so focused on trying to do what I have to do that I'm unintentionally not focusing on that person's emotions, or just neglecting them a little bit in that way because I'm focused on what I have to do. So
okay. And a lot of females now today, right? They do this thing like a boss chick attitude, right? And earlier you mentioned the alpha females that's out there with those behavior. I believe that most of those females that claim to be alphas, or the one that perceives himself as a boss chick, or they have that dominant role about them, or they have a lot of masculinity in them, so they feel like I'm in charge, I call the shots, I know what to do, like I don't need a man's opinion. Honestly, I feel like that's just ignorance. But I feel it's ignorant. I feel it's just ignorant to say that you don't need this because you have a masculine behavior, in the sense that you can do some things that a man can do. Right. But also understand that you can only do that said thing to a certain extent that a man do. Right. So to know that you, out of females, those type of females, of the category or the bunch of females that's out there, these type of females that call themselves alpha, that have like a masculinity about them, that I could do some stuff that a man do up to this level of standard, or I'm making my own money, or I don't need a man.
I was about to say that's mostly where it comes from.
Yeah, I feel like that's just ignorant behavior. And then it makes it hard it then ties back to where men is like, if you're gonna be like that, why should I care? If you're gonna come off with this attitude and then try to hit me with these words like, oh, I need to be mature, or I'm not thinking, or stuff like that, or I don't have common sense, it's like, what do you expect me to do? Like, you're coming with those words. We're like, damn, you're like.
And it's also a hurt thing. Like, sometimes, a female is gonna call you ignorant, whatever. Like, you don't have common sense.
Yeah. Females are gonna call us ignorant, so we should get used to female calling us ignorant. And we as a man, we should try to avoid telling them to calm down, because either way, we're going to be blamed for it. Right? Because it's like, that's what I'm hearing as well. And we want to be blamed regardless.
It's just, as a female, I'm not going to like, we do see men as lacking common sense sometimes, or being a bit ignorant, because we feel, and then it goes into the little things. So it's like, as a female, we might be out, we see a shirt with your favorite band on it. We're going to get it because we know that's you. We're thinking of you, you get it. Okay? Vice versa, a man in the store. Certain men might do it, but certain men might not. Oh, a band with my shirt, my favorite band on it. They don't get it. But you're going to come home and tell me, oh yeah, I see a shirt with your favorite band on it. Oh, did they have my size? Yeah, why don't you get it? Oh, I don't know. Like, do you see?
I think that's different.
Okay,
so I'm going to try to defend.
Or it's just like the responses you guys give sometimes for your actions is what makes us say, like, were you even thinking? Like, did you use common sense? Because the response we get and the explanation we get does not match your actions. If that makes sense. So the explanation we get from men will not match your actions. That's the problem.
Okay, guys, so I'm going to say this, and honestly, please pay attention to this. So she just hit some points, which I believe that goes back to attire, bedroom, as well as, like going out, right? For every guy that is with their woman, it is your responsibility. This is important, that you know her dress size, you know what she wears, you know what she likes, so that when you go out and you see a size that fits her, think about it in your head and be like, that will look good on my girl, and I know her size, I'm going to get it. And if you don't know her size, get your ass back home, right? Find a shirt that's in the laundry that needs to be washed or something, and get that size. Register that in your head, and then go the next day. Do not call her mom, because then the mom and daughter is going to have a conversation. Then it's going to be like, you didn't know, so do yourself a justice, go home, right? Get her size, and we all know that some clothes fit different, right? There's no lie to that. Some clothes do fit different.
But it'd be the thought that counts. Like, if I got something like that and like I couldn't fit it, I wouldn't be mad, because it was the thought that counts.
That's not true. There's females out there, she may be an exception, right? There's females out there that if we guys get the wrong size when it comes to something, we're going to be it with, you don't know our size? Like, what are you buying this for? This can't fit me. This is too big. It's too small. It doesn't fit. Does that look like my style? Then we have to deal with that. So guys, I say go home, take a photo of what that is, register that in your head, or get a book and write it down in your book. When it comes to this brand, my girl size is this, my style is this. Write that shit down, and then when you're out, you purchase accordingly. So when she come at you and be like, you know what, no, you can be like, no, babe, no, I did write it down. I try to keep on top of that.
Or, if you care about the person enough and you learn them enough, you would just know these things off your mental, and you just do it automatically.
Yeah, it sounds really easy, but I think
it is.
It is easy. When you
learn somebody, it's not even just the fact of like learning a female, or even in a relationship, because you do it for your friends too. Well, me personally, I do it for my friends. Me and friends have that kind of friendship. So it's like, oh, if my friend's favorite color is pink. Anytime I see something pink that I know she like, I send a picture to her and I'm like, this is you, like, this has you written all over it. So it's just little things like that, like, females tend to do for their man. It's like, oh, if a guy did that in return, it would be nice. Like, we don't stress it, but it's like, it would be nice because it's a little way to show, oh, I'm thinking of you without being completely emotional and the whole 9 yards. Is just a quick little, oh, you were thinking about me while you was out? Like, you got my favorite brand or whatever.
Okay.
You see, like.
All right. I hear you. I hear you. So I'm gonna add to this, right? And
Okay.
I'm adding this to all the guys. Again, this is one more tip that you guys also need to know. So when it comes to females, I know a lot of us, we're supposed to be masculine, right? We have to know how to lead, and we have to learn how to lead in our masculinity as well. Now, a lot of us guys, we know that whole beta theory thing or beta concept stems from a lot of single model home, right? But we're not going to go into that. I'm not going to go into that. But what I'm saying is, guys, we should allow ourselves to have at least about 5 to 10% of femininity, ideologically, not the fact that we're going to be 10 up to 10% feminine. No, just to understand and be able to explore that part of our emotion so that we can relate. I feel like if we could relate at least 10% to a lot of females out there, the whole idea that guys don't understand female, I with the fact that we lead logical and they try to control emotions. If we could explore up to that 10% and then exhibit that 10% from I got you, I understand, I share in that feeling, right? And we could relate to them, we'll score a lot more points. And we score those points, conversations like this that females are thinking about guys that you don't care, and the common sense idea will kind of flush out the window. And with that said, I also want you to know that females as well, if female start to explore, up to that 10% understanding from a masculine perspective, right? They'll also start to have better relationship and foster better relationship with who they are. And they'll also learn more about themselves that I don't think I need to be this way around him. Like I'm going to let him lead. And I'm going to be a support system, meaning that if he screws up, I'm going to be like, hey, can we talk?
Now, there's a difference between letting him lead and be controlling. There's a difference between leading and being controlling, because some men don't know the difference between leading and controlling. They want to control the whole situation, control the whole relationship, his way or the highway.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Well, that is true. That is true. You're absolutely speaking facts right there. A lot of men don't know how to lead. And I think that's a conversation that we need to have in future episodes. Like when it comes to men leading versus women leading and who leads best, right? So we're absolutely going to have that conversation.
That's a good one. So, yeah.
So, all right. So I'm looking at it. So I hear what you have to say. So any tips that you want to give your fellow females when it comes to men, what to do?
Like you said earlier, I definitely would express, even if it's not your personal man, ask a brother, any male figure that you could ask, best friend, whatever. Looking at certain situations from a male perspective rather than from a female perspective will help you a lot. Because it will help you going into it already understanding how the man is going to view it, how he's going to look at it, and it helps you deal with it differently and accordingly. So instead of dealing with your emotions, men, we all know, tend not to think like that. So with certain situations, you're already going to know, okay, I can't go into it like this. Let me choose this approach instead. Let me choose that approach instead. And it's also knowing the person that you're talking to. Now, ladies, I know we feel all men are the same because at the end of the day,
we're all men.
Yeah. And
we're all dogs. Continue.
I like to say all men are not really, the best. They all have their little ways about them, but some men are better than others. So you can't go into everything judging based on a past situation. You, like I said, get to know the person. It's the best thing you can do, and getting to know how they deal with their emotions, how they deal with hardships and just things that when you're not at your best and you don't want to talk to other people, have that conversation, have that talk early on so you already know, like, okay, this is how I deal, this is how you deal, now how can we compromise so that I'm not sitting here looking at you like, oh, well, now you're going through all this and I feel unwanted and you don't care about my feelings. And now you're stressing me out because you're talking about your feelings, but I'm trying to worry about bills and this, that, and the third. So you just gotta figure out how each other deal with things and then go forward from that.
Okay. And thank you for that. Those are some great insight, ladies. Definitely, absolutely consider those. Yes, we do like to know that when a woman take the time out to not figure us out, but get to know us, it makes the relationship flows much easier. And it also goes for men. Take the time out to know the woman that you're with. Know what her triggers are. Know what upsets her. Know how she calms down. And
don't tell her to calm down.
And know when to tell her to calm down. I'm not going to say don't tell her to calm down, but know when to tell her to calm down. The same way I believe that a woman should know when to tell a man that he needs to apply common sense, right? Because common sense does enable maturity. And we men, when we hear that we don't have common sense, we feel that we're not being mature. So it does emasculate us. And I know you guys, I know females were saying it, not to take, some are taking a direct shot, and some are just saying it because they've heard it coming up. But what it does is that whenever you tell a man that, oh, you don't have common sense, you don't apply common sense, it takes a shot at his masculinity, right? And at that point, it's like, am I going to deal with this a lot moving forward? Because if I am, I don't want to deal with it. You know, like, we're going to push you over there, right? So, guys, take the time to know who you are rocking with, take the time to know who you're with. Take the time to know the females in your circle, their likes, their dislike, and you know, I wish you all the best. We're going to be having more conversations like this, guys. Absolutely, check her out at Yana TV. Like I say, you know, she's like a bag of chips, and every chips in that bag is entirely has a different flavor, it tastes different, it rocks different. Give her your love, your support, and support the channel. We're going to be having more conversation like this. Yana is going to be here in more conversation. And I think we may spin this off because we've been talking about, you know, really spinning it off somewhere else and probably do a lot more collaboration. We'll see how it goes, right? Again, thank you guys for watching. Support the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. And if you don't do any of that, share the video with every single person in your circle and tell every single person to give it a thumbs up. We'll see you guys in the next discussion that we're going to have. So we're going to have a next discussion. We're really going to talk about, what is that we're going to talk about again?
You can't say like about two different things.
We're going to talk about submission and submissive.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So I'll see you guys in that is going to come up in the next episode. So subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss the release of that.